LA Business Spotlight.
Greed is good.
Always be closing.
It's strictly business.
Welcome to LA Business Spotlight. I'm Joel Metzger. We have today in the studio Emilee Wilson of Go Moment. Welcome, Emilee.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us about Go Moment.
Go Moment is an experience company. And when I say experience company, I say that we provide unforgettable experiences and enhance people's lives in unforgettable ways. We do everything from individual requests to big corporations and businesses and hotels.
So what are some examples? Typical experiences.
Some examples, well, it depends on what the objective is. If it's a big company, it's a corporation, they can request that we come in and we can do a team building event for their employees. Or we actually the company started by doing date packages and putting together really unique dates around Los Angeles because some men are just very busy and they don't have a lot of time, but they have the money. So that's how the company started, and it kind of grew into bigger events and larger events. And now we do everything from concierge services to big, large corporate planning.
So say a company takes you up on a big experience with a bunch of employees. What do they get out of it from an experience?
Well, we have several different departments at Go Moment, and one of those departments is called PI, and that stands for Performance Improvement Experiences. So if we were going to be organizing some of those experiences, they would be the end result of an employee engagement program or a return on incentive or return on investment program. So we implement sales incentives and employee engagement programs, and when top performers actually hit their mark and bring in their sales goals or whatever the objective may be, maybe it's a safety measure, the end result is an experience. And we pride ourselves on making it a custom experience for the top performers. So say they love to travel, we get a lot of requests for cruises and flights and just really unique, exclusive experiences. Sometimes it's getting access to red carpet events. I mean, it really depends on what the employee wants.
So you're talking about motivation.
We are talking about motivation. We tell executives that we can change the culture of the company, and we actually change behavior by dangling that carrot. But people are more motivated, they're more happy, and then they're more productive. And it's actually a wonderful, wonderful thing. And the employer benefits, and so does the employee. And I like to tell people that we help employers and employees check off their bucket list.
If we're talking about motivation, what do you consider the best motivator?
Well, really the custom experiences. Harvard Business School did a study recently that actually showed that people want experiences. They don't want monetary awards or rewards. There's definitely something to be said for a cash bonus at the end of the year. I think a lot of people like that, but they're starting to expect it. And so we believe that one of the best motivators is a custom experience that the employee will never forget. And with such a social life now, with social media, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, it's really about bragging rights and standing around, the next day in the office and showing people all of your pictures, and that is more meaningful than money, because money just goes into the wallet, and or even if it's a gift card, and it goes on to pay for baby diapers, electricity and gas, and it's easily forgotten.
Okay, so that's the motivation, but the companies that come to you, what are their objectives? What are the objectives they're trying to meet?
There's so many different objectives. We have, a lot of companies want to recognize someone for their years of service. I was just speaking with someone who works for a very well-known hotel chain, and he's been with them for almost 10 years, and he said the perks are amazing and that once you hit 10 years, you get 20 days of vacation at one of their resorts. I mean, wow. That's a reward, right? I think that's an incentive to stay. There's also ad hoc recognition, which is basically a short term, if you do this, then you'll get that. There's obviously sales incentives for people that make things or manufacture or distribute things. And we definitely do sales incentives, and we love implementing sales incentives. They're really fun. Training, learning, developing, health and safety. There's also, with the latest, trend of social responsibility and becoming green, there's a lot of companies that are rewarding employees for being more green or for being, just more efficient in their work environment and helping to save the environment a little bit. So
wow,
that's a good one.
It sounds like a really great company. All right, well, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back on LA Business Spotlight.
Spotlight.
LA Business Spotlight is brought to you by Icebox Logic, makers of fine handcrafted audio and video. Go to iceboxlogic.net to see examples. Your company needs to communicate.
We're back on LA Business Spotlight. I have Emilee Wilson of Go Moment in the studio. Now, there's a lot of other companies that do pretty much the same thing, right?
Well, actually, Joel, they don't do the same thing because I think that's impossible. But there are a lot of similar companies that do corporate team building and incentive programs. And there's a lot of companies that already have strong partnerships with these other businesses. However, we, Go Moment, in our department in the Performance Improvement Experience Division, we're so confident in our ability to offer a return on investment that we actually don't consider any of these other companies to be competition because we can implement our program into an already existing program, and we're more than willing to share the profits of that. We've been in the business a long time, and not me personally, but my director, Bob Dawson, who's the former banker, and combined with over 25 years of using data from actual ROI programs, we're really confident of our ability to deliver a bottom line incremental profit to our customers. And I don't know that other companies are that confident and that they can actually measure the success. Bob has created the software program called the iValuator, and you can plug in all the numbers so you can actually see the upfront risk. And much like a 401k plan, it gets updated and the risk portfolio gets updated as the years go on. We have clients that come see us year after year, and then so they'll sign up for a 3-year program because they know that, we're going to give them a big return, and it's a commitment. So
what about the next generation, the younger people coming up? Do you think it's important?
I think that that's definitely important. I got to be honest, my background personally is in entertainment and hospitality. So I'm definitely a people pleaser, and I always have been. But when I first learned about this industry, it's also known as the MICE industry, meetings, incentives, corporate events. In conferences and events, I was just like, why didn't I find this 10 years ago? And I think that, if schools were smart, they would add employee engagement into the business development curriculum, because I think that much like Facebook, the younger generation wants their work atmosphere to be just as social and transparent, and they need to be incentivized. And there's nothing wrong with incentivizing someone, especially with all of these new companies and these startups. It doesn't really take much. So we really want to teach people that happy employees are going to be more productive. And if you're a business owner, then you definitely want your employees to be happy. You'll have more retention, they'll stay, they'll be loyal, and you'll only get bigger, better, and stronger.
I'm feeling motivated right now. I'm so motivated. Emilee Wilson, thank you so much for coming to LA Business Spotlight. Tell them where they can reach you.
You can reach us at www.gomoment.com, and you can also reach me by email, and my email address is Emilee@GoMoment, EMILEE@GoMoment.com, and I would absolutely love to take any requests, and I have my white gloves on right now.
All right, Emilee. Emilee, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
You've been listening to LA Business Spotlight. If you have a company or service and you'd like to appear on the show, send an email to info@iceboxlogic.net.
This podcast was recorded at the studios of Icebox Logic.